Why did you start rooting for the San Francisco Giants?
San Francisco Giants, my mother-in-law, it's her team. So I started rooting for them, and then I was living on the East Coast. I've always loved Yankee history. So now I literally follow two teams, 162 games a year, which is weird for a magician. But I've just owned it because you don't have to fit in a box. Yeah.
If you're a magician's assistant, you do have to fit in the box. Hey friends, welcome back to another episode of Chasing Wonder. That voice you just heard is the incredible John Michael Hinton, who just fooled Penn and Teller. And on this episode, he's going to reveal to us exactly how he did it. It's the first time in the history of that show that someone has fooled them and then turned around and explained the secret. So I can't wait for you to hear it. It's a really fun conversation. We also talk about sports, which hardly ever happens on this show. So if that's not your thing, don't worry. It doesn't last too long. You'll make it through. We'll meet on the other side. It'll be okay. We had a great time. I'm here at the Oaks, my buddy Bob Goff's retreat center out in San Diego. We just led a great workshop with some authors and entrepreneurs and creatives who are just trying to do some really cool stuff. And I am pumped. There's something about getting around other people who are doing stuff that you like to do. You know, they're writing, they're dreaming, they're imagining. And I just love that. You know, sometimes you share an idea with somebody and they think you're crazy. And then you can find these little pockets of the world where you get together with friends and they're just like, yeah, that's not crazy. Let's go. How can I help you? So it was an incredible time out here in San Diego. I'm excited because tomorrow, or actually the day this comes out, if you're hearing this episode the day it comes out, I'm going to be traveling to Lake Tahoe. The whole family's coming. We're doing shows. I'm going to be doing shows. Let's see. It is, May 22nd through the 27th. I'll be in Lake Tahoe at the Loft Theater. So come on out if you're anywhere near Lake Tahoe. I'm loving the show. I'm having a great time with it. I'm throwing a few new pieces in. I'm getting ready to tape something. And so, not only am I running that material, but I'm also doing some brand new stuff I'm really excited about. So come on out. Let me know if you're going to be in or near Lake Tahoe. June 1st, I'll be at the Playhouse Theater in Whitehall, Michigan. It's up near, it's a little above Grand Rapids, and they got this glorious little theater there, and I'm excited to perform for the community out there. If you're in or around the area, please come out. And then super duper big news, June 19th through the 22nd, I am at Chicago Magic Lounge. I can't wait to go back to Chicago, and I'm really excited because I'm going to be filming a new special in Chicago while I'm there. So can't wait. So much good stuff to share with you. New projects. I'm just feeling invigorated. You know, I'm feeling super stoked. Sometimes you just get in this zone of creativity, and got some new stuff I'm working on. I'm excited to share it with you. And I've been talking to lots of friends who are just making cool stuff. Look, if you got an idea, just get it out there. The world needs it. I know it's crazy. Can I talk to you for a second? I know it's crazy. I know it's exhausting. I know that you turn on your internet. You don't turn on the internet. It's always on. It never sleeps. But you know what I mean? You look at the thing and you see the stuff going on and you go, oh, the person did something else. And then that place over there, there's stuff happening there. And oh man, this is affecting my things. I know it's tough, but hey, there's a lot of cool stuff happening. So go out there, have some fun. But not until you listen to this episode. If you are listening to this podcast, you can actually hear this entire episode. We filmed the whole thing, and got a nice little 3-camera shoot for you. It's over on the YouTube page. So go check it out. Follow Magic Storyteller on Facebook. If you like the podcast, leave a comment. Let people know. It makes a difference. Thanks for sharing it with everybody. And I'm excited to share this conversation that I had with John Michael Hinton with you. Hey, friends, welcome to Chase. My voice cracked. Did you see that? I just went full 13-year-old. I'm going to try it again. Welcome to Chasing Wonder. I'm Taylor Hughes. We're here today with my buddy John Michael Hinton.
What is up?
Fellow magician. Here's what is crazy. This is probably the most Hollywood thing ever. We are sitting in Los Angeles, California, on a couch with a guy from Dallas who's dressed head to toe in New York Yankees attire. Can you explain to everybody, first of all, why are you dressed in Yankees attire?
It's the opening day of baseball, and so we had to find a game. We actually went out in Hollywood dressed like I had somebody in a L.A. Cap going like, Yankees, what's going on? And I was like, it's opening day of baseball. Shut up. Like, let's go.
Right. Yeah, we're not releasing this on opening day.
No.
We're actually, we had to get special. This is like a special permission thing because we are pre-recording a conversation
because we're going to talk in a little bit about something you
Stuff
did.
that
if we put it out today, you'd like. I think
I'd
you'd
get in
go
trouble.
Yeah. There's like NDAs and stuff.
Yes, literally NDAs. But as long as you release it after a certain time, we're fine.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Which is why you're not seeing this right now on opening day. You're like, opening day of baseball was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
What?
yeah. You'll see this very soon. We are coming to you from the past. This is the closest to time travel we have. But I gotta know before we get off this sports thing.
Yeah.
You realize how unusual it is that you're like a
An
magician.
artist.
like all my
Anybody
friends,
artist.
my stand-up friends, stand-up comedians love sports. Every stand-up comedian is talking about sports. Magicians never.
No, they're like, yay, do the thing, do the Super Bowl home run thing. Yay.
Yeah.
Honestly, for a long time, I didn't like sports. And it was 9 years ago that my wife, she said, John, why don't you root for baseball? You seem to love it. And I said, well, I love baseball. Yeah, because I watch all the baseball movies. I cry at all the baseball movies.
Okay.
And every time there was
I never
baseball
thought
on.
about how many baseball movies there are.
Oh,
but
and
there
they're
are
awesome.
so many.
They're so good. And she's like, why don't you have a team? And I said, well, honey, I'm not any good at it. And she started laughing. She said, you think the fans in the stands are good? I'm like, no, I sucked at Little League. And she's like, John, you don't have to be good at the sport. And I went,
Right.
oh. And she said, if you pick a team, I'll root for you with you. Well,
That's funny.
then we started rooting for the San Francisco Giants, who also won today.
Yeah.
And then we have you're interrupting my episode.
I love it. We did an episode with Kaylee and Chase, and John walked in on it, and now they've walked in. In their defense, this is their room.
This is their room.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
You were talking about you started.
so I started rooting for.
Why did you start rooting for the San Francisco Giants?
San Francisco Giants. My mother-in-law, it's her team. She
Okay.
loves it. I was living in California. Actually, I wasn't, but I still loved California. I've lived everywhere.
Yeah.
So I started rooting for them, and then I was living on the East Coast. I've always loved Yankee history. And San Francisco Giants ball games would start at 10 p.m. and get over at 2.
Right.
And so I was like, I need an East Coast team. I love the Yankees. So now I literally follow 2 teams, 162 games a year. I'm
Wow.
like
Do you have like the
huge
Major
fan.
League app and all
Oh,
that
I have all
stuff?
of it. I'm like literally before and after my show, I'm checking the games, which is weird for a magician. But
Right.
I've just owned it because you don't have to fit in a box.
You're right.
So
That's really good.
Yeah.
If you're a magician's assistant, you do have to fit in the box.
Not if you're a close-up magician's assistant. There's no way you're getting in those teeny tiny boxes.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, if I was the assistant, just get in the box. That's the trick. They're like, they closed the lid. Can you believe it? That's incredible. That's awesome, man. Yeah, my buddy Mark James, who I think you know out of the UK, another magician. He just got into baseball this last year, and this is the thing that when you become a sports fan later in life, you get to just decide. It doesn't matter where you grew up.
Yep.
You just get to pick a team and go for it.
Well, and honestly, this is also stupid, but I love the gear. This is such an artist thing to say.
Yeah.
I love the Yankees gear. There's so many things there, but also when I want to go incognito, as you know, if anybody else, my hair is always usually like super up.
Yeah.
So
Also, by the way, just right now, half the people watching this went like, "Oh my gosh, it's John Michael!" Like, this is like such a signature.
Yeah. But when I want to be incognito, like this is like Superman becoming Clark Kent.
There you go.
Now I can't fly. I can't do magic tricks with a hat on. Apparently.
I like that the magician. Get over here. We've got an imposter. We've got an imposter. Chase Hasty doing his. Look. Get side by side. Get side by side. Look. We got Chase Hasty.
You're just like a
doing his
little bit
John
taller.
Michael.
That's barely.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. How long has the hair been the look?
Oh, forever. I mean, when I was in high school, there were giant horns on my head, like with glue, Elmer's glue. I don't use that anymore. But actually, I had a client ask me recently. He's booked me like 3 or 4 times, and he said, "John, are you allowed to change your hairstyle?"
Oh,
and I looked at him and I went, I don't know, because it's such a part of my brand. People will remember, oh yeah, that guy with the Rubik's Cubes and Skittles and the hair. Like that's literally how they remember me.
That's good. I mean, it's like Bob Ross. Like there's all these people that like have this identifiable look.
Yep.
And I'm sure there's like research about it and everything. My kids make fun of me because they go, I'm like notorious for never wanting to mix things up with my style or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't even have a style, but they're like, you've only had 2 haircuts. My daughter literally said to me, my 16-year-old, Dad, you've only had 2 haircuts. You had the Guy Fieri and whatever this is. That's what she said to me. Can you believe it?
I love it. I love it.
So let's talk real quick about, dude, you just did Fool Us. You've done Fool Us before.
Yes.
Those of you who are watching who maybe aren't, avid magician fans.
Why not?
Like, they're like, why did they stop talking about sports? I literally, if there's a podcast, every podcast, they start talking about sports, and I skip past that part. Because I don't know what's going on. Yeah, so welcome back, magicians. Thank you for your bravery. We made it through the sports talk. Let's talk about a TV show starring Penn and Teller.
Yes.
Second time on Fool Us.
Yes, second time on Fool Us. The first time it was Rubik's Cubes, which was crazy because I created a trick that had never been done before.
Right, yeah.
Carl Hines is amazing at figuring out. Like,
Incredible.
he's kind of been a historian of what is been done with Rubik's Cubes.
Yep.
Came out with stickerless, never been done with a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Got on Fool Us because of that. And been trying, all of us, everybody, every magician out there is like, submit something every year. Maybe they'll pick it up. Maybe.
Right.
And
it's hard. You got to come up with new stuff.
It has to be, yeah.
Yeah, I remember a few years I sent in stuff and they'd be like, we really like you, but we had a guy use a piece of rope. So 3 years ago, somebody used a deck of cards. Can you do something?
Me up, I'll have people coming up to me in Magic Live like, how do I get on Fool Us? And I'm like, well, have something original. And like, oh, I have this really, really good gambling routine. And I want to say, they had Richard Turner on.
Yeah.
Like, is it better than Richard Turner's? Because if not, you're not getting on Fool Us.
Right.
Like, that's what people they realize is you need original and good. Then, oh no, they haven't seen how good my gambling routine is. Have you seen Richard Turner? Oh, that's like saying, oh, I'm an amazing mentalist. Well, they had this guy,
Right.
And so, I mean, maybe you are. And if you are, great. So literally Brent Braun, who, if you know anything about TV and consulting, Brent Braun is like the best consultant out there. If you want to do something on TV, you contact Brent Braun.
Yeah, he's great.
And if you just want to do something in magic, his mind is incredible.
Yeah, you'll be like, hey, Brent, I'm thinking about this. And he'll be like, well, here's 4 ways to do it right away. Like, he's already thought about it.
Yeah. Well, it's not even the method. Like, he doesn't want to start with the method. He wants to start with, I love he always tells me, he said, John, we're wizards.
Yeah.
We can do whatever we want. We just have to figure out something cool to do.
Right.
And so I went out and was consulting with him, and I had this idea. I said, I want to kill a rubber ducky on national television and have everyone be excited about it.
Yeah.
And he said, cool. What's the trick? And I said, I don't know. I want to kill a rubber ducky on national television and have everyone be excited about it.
Well, that's great, too, because ultimately the show, they're looking for good television. It's got to be good television.
Yeah.
And good magic doesn't always make good television.
No,
right?
Often it doesn't.
Yeah.
In fact, our favorite tricks as magicians, most lay people don't even get. A-can.
Oh, yeah.
A-can, most people, here. This is a pause the Penn and Teller's thing. I was doing Any Card to Any Page by Joshua J.
Yeah.
Which, if you know, I do that.
And for those of you who aren't magicians, basically you have a book. Somebody names any card, they name any page in the book, and that card appears on that page in the book.
Exactly. Yeah. But you do it first that it's going to appear in the deck. Magician's in trouble. It winds up in the book.
Yeah.
Whenever I do any card in any number, I've done it, and magicians are like, whoa. Lay people are like, oh, cool. Oh, yeah. You said it was going to be there. It was there. Yeah. And so literally the last time I did this in my show, I do it hoping to get it wrong so that I can get it on the page. And with any card in any page, any card in any number,
right?
It's like it is so improbable. Like it is 52 factorial.
Right. It's 52 factorial. So
it is crazy. All that to say, they named the number. I counted to it, and I went, holy crap, it is. They did real. I did it for real on stage. And I literally went, because I knew it was a red card. It was the 8 of hearts. And I said, was your card a black card? They said, no. I went, crap. And I threw it away.
Are you serious?
I did, because I knew that it was more powerful to wind up in the book. And I was right, because I've done it before where I've gotten it right 3 times, done actual any card at any number 3 times where it actually hits. And one of the other times I showed it and people went, oh, cool. And like, no, you don't know. This is impossible because they're real shuffles. I don't like.
Right.
I'm doing. And then anyway, okay. So Penn and Teller Fool Us.
Yeah.
We were talking, and then we were jamming on this with Brent, trying to figure out like
how to kill a rubber ducky.
How do we kill a rubber ducky and have everybody excited about it? eventually we said, you know what? Let's table this. Let's come up with something else. So we worked on something else and worked on something else and worked on something else, worked on some things in my show. It's now 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And Brent said, you know, and I love, if you've ever hung out with Brent Braun, he's like, this is stupid. No, John, we can't. And it's like he wants you to pull it out of him. He's like, no.
Come on, tell me.
Yeah,
tell
exactly.
Me. Well, at least tell me.
And he said, what if we kill a rubber ducky and then we expose the method on national television?
Yeah.
He said, no one's ever done that on the show.
Yeah.
And I said, yes. I said, what do you mean? And then literally we came up with the idea that when we pitched the producers, Andrew and Lincoln, they said, yes, let's do it. Actually, at first they were like, because literally we do the trick. And I've shown you some of the behind the scenes footage. We expose the method on national television after Penn and Teller make their guests. Keep watching because we're going to expose the method.
Yeah. In fact, right now, so we can keep talking about this. If you haven't seen it yet, this we've waited to put this out till it's out. I'll put a link in the show notes here. You can go watch the clip real quick, see it, and then come back and we'll talk a bit more. So here we go. And we're back.
Hey, welcome back. Those of you that didn't go, welcome.
If you didn't go, you're going to be confused. but yeah, talk a little bit. That's crazy how you guys did that method.
Okay, so the method is it's a secret assistant, right?
Yeah.
But here's the problem with Penn and Teller. They're not going to be fooled by secret assistant. They know what their tables look like. If it's a bigger table, they literally, I've talked to Brent, Teller will lean over and say, the table's too big. I bet somebody's in it.
Yeah.
Like before the person even does the trick, they'll say, I bet there's a secret assistant in that table.
Yeah.
And so Brent said the only way you can fool Penn and Teller with a secret assistant is to either set the table on fire.
Right.
Or something. And then he went, what if we put somebody underwater?
Yeah.
By the way, if you saw the clip, my wife was underwater
the whole time.
It's a 6-minute clip. With TV filming, she was underwater over 18 minutes.
Was she freaked out at all when you were rehearsing this?
Of course, yeah.
My wife, the first time we did a sub trunk, which is like you get in a box and you switch places. We built this beautiful sub trunk. I mean, it was gorgeous. It looked like something out of an old Thayer catalog. And then she made us drill like a 3-inch hole in the side because she thought she was going to run out of air. And then for the rest of the time we did it, she was like, "Why did I do that?"
Yep. Well, no, she was not supposed to be the original person. It was supposed to be Brent Braun. He was too big for the
tank,
thing, which he's also said I'm okay with.
Yeah.
And we tossed around some other names, and eventually we said, it'd be a real good story, babe, if you'd be in there. And she went, no. Like that was hard. And then she thought about it. She's like, it would be good. It'd make really good TV. It'd be good. It'd be fun to be on the show with you. Even though she's never been interested in magic, she loves that I do it. She loves that I perform, and she's actually a performer herself, but not in magic.
What does she perform?
Oh, she's an amazing singer. She's an amazing actress. She's incredible. We actually met in voice studio class in college. Like, she's an incredible singer. But eventually she's like, okay, I'm only going to do it one way. If you also are willing to train.
Yeah.
Because she said, I'm not getting in that unless you're willing to get in there. And so I had to get in there and train and get up to 5:15 until I could be in there over 20 minutes. And then and I'll tell you, the first minute or 2 minutes, because you're breathing through a straw, basically.
Right.
You're like,
you have to slow your heart rate down.
Your heart rate down. You're slowing At 5 minutes, though, is when it got really freaky to me. Really? For some reason, in my head, it was like, I'm running out of air. I'm running out of air. My throat's closing up. The snorkel's not working. And then you're like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And then after 5 minutes, it's easy.
Yeah.
But also, the other thing is she's staring at, if you've seen the clip, she's staring at ducks' butts.
Yeah.
And then she also had to get the spit take right. So then when she had to listen.
Time it. Yeah.
So that when I banged on the side and said, check this out, she had to take the snorkel out, suck in a bunch of water, sit up, which she's wearing a weight belt because she's
otherwise you'd float up. Yeah,
to sit up and spit out water and then find out if we fooled them. And she was amazing. The other thing, by the way, if your wife has had 3 children, it's great to try to put her in a wetsuit that hugs every single curve, and then that's going to be on national television.
Very excited about that.
She was very excited. She's like, the first time I'm on national television, really, babe? You want my hair to be wet?
I'm not comfortable wearing a t-shirt without a jacket.
Exactly. exactly. I mean, she looked great, but she was like, "What are you doing to me?"
It's so cool. I also love too, just as a creative, like so often we go to like just what we think, well, this is how you do this kind of trick, or this is how you achieve this kind of thing. And I love these kind of moments where you just go so far outside the box that you end up creating something that just has never happened before. And so, spoiler alert, you won the trophy.
Yes, we won the trophy. We fooled Penn and Teller. Also, this is cool. At the very end, after they handed us the trophy, which, by the way, if you watch the clip, you'll notice Teller goes to hand me the trophy, and I say, "Wait."
Yeah, because she's still underwater.
Who's ever said that to Teller?
Right.
Here's an FU trophy. Nah, hold on.
Yeah.
But so they handed her the trophy. She hands it to me. I hold it up. We celebrate, and then they say, "Hey, John Michael Hinton just turned a trick into a trophy. Let's see if our next fooler." And they said, "Cut."
Yeah.
And they said, "No." She worked her butt off, so they changed it and made him refilm it to say, "John Michael and Mary Beth Hinton just turned a trick into a trophy."
That's so
and
rad.
I love that they put her in it because now it is us.
Is your wife the first non-magician to win a Fool Us trophy?
Oh, we should do the research.
Right? I bet
that
she
would be
is.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't do any magic at all. We should find that out.
That's pretty cool, man.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. Dude, I'm so glad that you did this, and I'm so glad that we get to hang out this week. We are here at the Magic Castle. How your show's been going?
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just prime for magic. Usually in my show, I have this thing is because you saw my show. I say, "Who wants to see a card trick?" And usually, first I say, "Who's having a good time?" Everybody in the audience, yeah. And I say, "Who wants to see a card trick?" And usually half the audience goes, "Yay!"
Yeah.
Here at the castle, who's having a good time? Ah! Who wants to see a card trick? Ah! I'm like, only you guys, because you've already seen
magic
too many
audiences
anyway.
in the world.
Yes, yeah. They're incredible.
When you combine a building that was designed just to see magic, with 5 fully stocked bars, you get the greatest audiences in the world. So,
They're amazing.
Yeah. Well, dude, thanks for popping by.
Oh, thanks for letting me.
We got to go do a show. We should go do it.
Yeah, I should actually put something in my hair so I don't have to keep touching it.
Friends, go check out John Michael. Where can people follow what you got going on?
Yeah, you can follow me on any of the socials at John Michael Hinton, or go to johnismyfriend.com, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. That would be great.
Do that.
Please
Makes
do that.
a big difference.
Yes, it does.
What's the YouTube channel? Is it John is my friend?
Just look up
put in
John Michael Hinton.
Yeah.
Go to johnismyfriend.com. You can find all the socials, YouTubes, everything like that. So, yeah.
Check it out, friends. All right, let's go do magic. Woo!